What's up, everybody? Welcome to JMac Sports Card. Use my old intro here. I didn't have my newer intro uploaded here onto StreamYard, but anyway, welcome. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a kind of a special edition live stream. We got a couple friends here that are hanging out. Bobbles and Ballcards. What's your do you ever put your first name out there, Bobbles?
My name is Brandon. Yeah, it's no secret.
Okay, Brandon.
Just
I
everybody
want to make
me
sure.
Bobbles or Mr. Bobbles.
Yeah, that's all I've heard. So, all right, so Bobbles and Ballcards, and then we got JD from JD Sports Cards, and I've linked both of their channels down in the video description below. Highly recommend both of these channels. That's why I invited them on. And I remember, JD, we did a live stream a while back.
Yeah, a while back. Yeah,
about Card Hedger.
Yeah.
So JD works with the company Card Hedger that prices sports cards. And but we've recently kind of connected over eBay, and I know a lot of you that are watching my channel now are watching because of the eBay reseller content. So I figured it would be good to have these guys on. I'll let them introduce themselves, and then we'll jump right to some eBay chat.
Go, old man.
Well, as you said, Bobbles and Ballcards. I do a little bit of everything. Dabble my toes in collecting, reselling. I'm also a bulk submitter for SGC. That's kind of how I know JD. I started that in early 2020, and JD jumped on board with that, watching videos and everything, and is part of the Facebook community and all that stuff. It's funny because JMac, he did that video about suggested content or something like that, and I thought it was funny because he was like, I've seen him on other live streams, but I didn't know he had his own channel. And, you know, I don't like, I probably don't market my name or the channel or the subs as much as I should, but I do go live on other people's channels, you know, pretty regularly, and just enjoy the hobby, both selling and collecting. So thanks for having me on, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, wow, I got to follow that up. So what's up, everybody? JD here. Big fans of both these guys.
Solo layout on you, huh?
Yeah, God, I was really dealing with it. Omar does that to me all the time on the podcast. I hate it.
It
messes me up. It's like, whoa, my head's even bigger than it was before. But anyway, so like Bobble said, man, like got back into collecting right around Kobe's death, 2020. Led to where I am now, which is like full-blown fiend again. But I will say, you know, collector of 90s basketball, baseball, big time hockey collector, trying to learn that space more and more every day. I think Bobbles and I could both do just content on hockey now with all the anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked, but
it's fun. It's very fun.
Back in the day, used to be a big eBay seller. I used to rip a lot of wax. And it's like the light bulb has kind of gone off in my head from watching you two guys, you know, talk about your eBay and things like that. And it's I'm happy to share whatever. My store has been on fire since like right around Christmas time. So I'm happy to share whatever I've learned and you know, go from there.
Yeah, I want to say another reason I want to have JD on, because and I said it in I don't remember which video, a recent video, that JD's channel is so underrated. So like I know
that's right,
Bobbles,
baby.
Yeah, well, Bobbles has got a couple thousand subscribers. JD's getting close to 1,000. So I really wanted to also have you on to help you out and get you get your channel some exposure, because you do good stuff. I was watching some of your other content, breaking down just different things, and I'm like, man, your channel's really underrated. So y'all need to go check out JD for sure and subscribe to his channel and watch some of his stuff, and you'll think the same, because he's also got that back end data that none of us got access to. Some of it. So.
That helps.
So, right. So I did see my boy Brandon Cooper here. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he and I have connected over on Twitter. I saw your comment just a couple of minutes ago, Brandon, but I was going to wait to talk about it. And he and I connected. So he's got a store with about 19,000 listings, and he and I have been DMing on Twitter, and it's really great. This whole reseller thing is really great. And when I started making the videos about the scanners and all that stuff, he reached out, and we've been bouncing stuff off of each other about ideas to grow and expand. And he's got a great store. If you want to see a good store, go look at it. 52A cards and collectibles.
Write that down.
Brandon, if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask you before I do it, but I'll throw it up on the screen, and I want to show your store if you're okay with that. So I'll wait for you to answer that. But anyway, he's been a good kind of a sounding board for learning some new stuff and learning to grow, because he's got I think it's like 13,000 listings, but no, I don't know. I'm saying it wrong. What is it? Let me look at his shoes. He sold 13,000 items, and he's got 19,000 items right now currently on the store. Go right ahead. Here you go. So I'm gonna give him some exposure here. Let me see. So here's the store. I just want to show you how clean it looks. Share screen. There you go. So here it is.
Yeah, it's nice.
When I saw how he did his categories, I was like, yeah, I need to change mine up and see how clean that is. And then he's got next level categories here. This is like, if you want to look at this, unbelievable, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Super well organized.
Yep.
So if you want to look at a store here to kind of model after, this will be one to look at right here for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I have like, it's basically kind of what I buy and sell. I kind of have like that. That's way more detail than I have. But I just feel it helps, like I always watch, if you like, Bobbles knows those back pages, Eric, J-Mac, I don't know if you know him, but he's like a hobby freaking czar. But he always says when he buys a card, he does the proverbial, I'm going to go see what else he's got. And I always have that in my head. So every time I'm like, if someone's buying something from me, I want them, when they land on my store or cards or whatever, I don't want it to be half-ass. I want it to be at least somewhat presentable. And I try to do that as the best I can, but that blows mine away. So good job, 5280.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's why I wanted to show it, just to kind of give because it inspired me when I looked at it. I was like, I wanted to share that. Someone asked about my. Go ahead, Bobbles.
Just a tip while you were talking about that and showing his store and talking about the categories, because I actually did this earlier today. I had gotten lazy and not thought about my categories and stuff, and I was posting everything under just other. And so I had some stuff, in baseball, some in football, but then I had like 90% of my listings were in other. It's kind of a pain in the ass to go back in.
Yeah, it is.
I found a way to do it a little easier today, but you still have to go to every single listing and change your store category. And you can do it in the bulk editor, but you still have to go to every single listing and then click and put it in the correct category.
Yeah.
Take the extra 2 seconds, put a note on your monitor or whatever to tell yourself, do that when you list it. It'll save you a hell of a lot of time and keep things organized like he had there. It took me about 2 hours today to go back through and actually put my stuff in categories. So,
well, I know also
just a suggestion.
The tool I'm using, Card Dealer Pro, you can put the categories in, and I have learned how to go in and find the category ID, but I'm usually trying to go so fast when I'm using that app that I haven't tried it yet, but I want to, that way, because like putting that set in there, like usually I'm listing like 2021 Donruss, and I'm going in and I'm scanning 100 of those and then putting those up on the store, and then I could throw the make a category for it, use the category ID, and when I upload them using that spreadsheet, I could have it all done in one big thing right there. So that would be. But anyway, I haven't tried it. I just want to say that it is a possibility. So all right, what's been selling for you guys? Bobbles, how about you? I know you. I saw some of the stuff. You got a little bit of everything. You got vintage, modern. You got a little bit of everything, don't you? What's been selling the best for you?
I to be honest, I can't pinpoint anything specific. Baseball does really well. Football does pretty good. Um, 90s basketball, no surprise there. But I would say it's more of price point, and the $10 and under cards, they fly. Like the
Right.
other day I was listing stuff and literally stuff was selling as I was listing it. Now, I don't have the scanner, I don't have the program and all that. But for the way I'm doing it and the amount I'm getting done, I'm actually pretty happy with the results I'm getting right now. Um, One reason I haven't went to the scanner and program is, as you know, and I've heard you mention many times, your wife helps you. The organization part. If you don't have stuff like sorted and organized and all that to then go in, that's probably going to not do me a lot of good right now, because some of my biggest thing is digging through boxes and figuring out what I want to list. Putting up 10,000 listings, if it's not stuff that's going to, likely sell, probably isn't worth it right now. So I need to get more of stuff sorted out first and then jump into that. Um, I'm averaging, let's see, since the first of the year, um, I've sold, let me refresh real quick, 111 items. And I think I currently have around 440 listed. So that, averaging about 10 a day, I'm not going to complain about that.
Now, Bobbles, you are full time doing this right now.
I do a little bit of everything. I do cards full time, yes, but it's a
And he's
little bit of everything.
you're a SGC bulk submitter.
Yeah,
All
I
these
have the bulk
things.
submissions, the card, the eBay reselling, several
So
different things going on.
so you got a few hustles, but in other words, you are a full time hustler of things
Mhm.
online. That's basically right.
I'm approaching 13 months since I jumped into doing all of this full time.
Oh, it's been that long. Good God.
December 12th, or yeah, no, December 21st of
Yeah.
2021 was the day I
Wow.
decided to go full time.
Good for you, man. Good for
Absolutely.
you.
Uh,
I
once
am
you,
not a full time
it-
reseller.
now
So
you
I
got
do
you got
this
you
for.
got you got a full time job too, JD,
Yeah,
because you do
I got a
card
full.
hedger.
Yeah, well, that I do on the side. I have a full time gig that pays all the bills and everything else, and then Card Hedge is starting to take off. Started to take off towards like August of last year, and it's hit like rocket fuel right now. So that's been cool, to see something like that kind of take off. But I just honestly sell cards because I have a problem and I just buy too many cards. So I just sell to whatever I sell is to just put back into, like, I always have a goal. Like, and Bobbles will tell you this. I've probably said about 35 times how I want to buy a Michael Jordan rookie card. Every time I get like over $2,000, I buy like two $500 cards, and then I'm like, back to
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? So like that's
got to sell
I'm
some
not
stuff.
I'm not a full-time dealer at all.
Gotcha.
To
Yeah.
to address Sports Card Collector Chronicles question, um, was I doing cards pre-pandemic? Yes. Did I do them full time? No. And I also did not jump into doing this full time during the boom phase of the
Mm.
pandemic. To be clear, on eBay in 2021, I actually only sold 110 cards. I said already this year, as of January 11th, I've sold 111 cards. So I have already this year in 2023 sold more cards than I did all of 2021 on eBay. I was scared to go into it full time during the boom because let's be clear, if you had done cards for a while, you knew this wasn't going to be sustainable. You knew it wasn't going to stay up here. And I didn't want to depend on an income based off of sports cards and a inflated value, not knowing where things would wind up or how many people would stay in. When I seen that it was doable, I started around April of last year doing more of the eBay stuff, selling the smaller end stuff to get a feel like, were people buying the $5 cards? how frequently, that sort of thing. That gave me more confidence heading into the end of the year. So that's kind of when I felt better about actually going about doing it full time. So
yeah, and I would say for me, pre-pandemic, I mean, I go back to the mid 2000s. I was 2008 through 2008 through 2012. I was really hard in cards, and then my first two kids were born, and I can hear everybody's things going off making sales.
Yeah, this is a bad time. Yeah.
I was big chasing Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg. So I'm like a closet Nationals fan. Well, not anymore, but I was. But I was hardcore on them. And then probably around 2012, my twins were like 2, and my wife kind of gave me the evil eye of like, you gotta slow your roll here. And I got out for a while, right until like Kobe's death. So I was out for a good 8 years.
Gotcha.
Were you so I know you've been doing cards for a little bit, J Mac, and I'm pretty sure that the reselling, like full-time big reselling thing, is kind of new for you. Were you into cards though pre-pandemic to were you collecting and buying that sort? Because I'm not gonna sit here and lie. The pandemic, like John knows, JD, he knows what I had. He knows the amount of Prism basketball and all that stuff I had sitting around. I'm not even gonna lie. That stuff funded some of the very nice cards I have in my collection today, because it was like it was no challenge. It was,
Right.
Darius Baisley scored 15 points. Let me throw up 15
Yeah.
Darius Baisley cards. The next morning I wake up and there's $150 in the account, and that just kept stacking up.
Right.
Don't forget your bowl adventures.
Yeah, but I don't know if I still have it. I had a picture of, them folding tables, almost a full table of bowl. Like just a full table, and it was like, okay, well, he had a nice scrimmage game. Let me unload these. It was just it was too easy. And if you held on to that stuff or believed that it was going to continue that way, I feel bad for folks, because they're probably kicking themselves hard. I use it as opportunity.
So to answer your question, so I've always been a collector on and off ever since the junk wax era, and but I was always a collector, like, and I wasn't privy to all of this new, grading and all this other stuff. I had that came in during 21 when I got back in, and what is it? Yeah, 20. Yeah, late 20, when I came back during the pandemic, but no, but I was always buying a box or two, and I've talked about this in other videos. But I was cheap, I was buying Sage Hit, I like the autos and stuff, but I didn't want to spend on hobby. But every once, I was buying during Steph's rookie year. I was buying during Kevin Durant's rookie year. So I had all of that kind of stuff when I came in. I still got some that I've graded and kept in the PC. A couple of those guys. I mean, and some of the stuff that I'm selling now is still stuff from during that era that I picked through, because I've always been so. I was getting backlash. It's funny now, like the collectors and the dealers that got picked on during the height of the market, the vintage guys and the Hall of Fame collectors and all those guys. Those are the guys they're the smartest ones in the room now, right? Well, and I used to get picked on. Or not picked on, but some people would drop comments like, "Oh, it's J Man. It's the guy that buys all the junk." Because even during the pandemic, I was still dollar boxing, and I'd buy things. I was only buying stars and rookies of stars, and I just had sort of an eye for it. And what I would always do was I wouldn't. A lot of people during the pandemic and during the height of stuff, they would offload everything in bulk. They would just get rid of everything. I still got stuff from almost every show I went to. I haven't sold much. I haven't sold much in bulk. So I've got, and so when Jalen Hurts popped off, I had lots of Jalen Hurts. When Burrow popped off, I had lots of Burrow. When you name it, Tua popped off, I had lots of Tua. Whoever the quarterbacks that have popped, I've had them because I didn't sell off everything. That's what a lot of these guys do. They'll buy a big collection, then they'll, call a friend and say, listen, man, I'm trying to get all of my inventory. And to me, it's like, there's always if you keep some of these guys around, somebody's going to pop every year, right?
So JD mentioned hockey, and I know it's not everybody's sport. It's an overlooked sport in my eyes. It is one of the most, how do I put this? It's not only fun, the sport is a hell of a lot of fun to watch, but you can go and buy a case of Upper Deck, okay? You're going to have normally, we'll say 2 to 3 rookies in there. They're going to come right out of the gates hot. That they're either speculated high or high draft picks or whatever. You're going to have those guys. You can instantly pull those out. One advantage with SGC is they get the stuff back quick. Hockey collectors will buy slabs. They buy M&T and KSA for, they're not as picky. So you can get the slab back. You can make most of your money back on just those young guns.
Mm.
And then I have the light off right now, but I have a 5-row box back there, nearly completely full of other young guns. And as you said, when Jalen Hurts popped off, you had some. Just stash those other guys. Somebody is going to wind up being good. Like, that isn't on the radar. That's $3 today will wind up being better. And it's like the easiest thing it's not only fun, you can build a collection of it, but you can pretty much almost know you're guaranteeing your money back. So
well, it's funny you say that. I we got some questions in the chat I'm gonna get to, but JD made a video. Funny. This is why I'm saying to subscribe to JD too, because I did exactly what you said, Bobbles. I did a show in Alabama, and I bought 2 hobby boxes of Upper Deck, but it was the extended series. I know that's not the most that was desirable.
It's a newer product,
yeah, but it has 6 young guns in it, and in each box, and one variation, and I don't know hockey at all, right? But another dealer that I was talking to said, "Dude, do this." He said I buy them. We're giving away the trade secrets here, but he gets them and then he PSAs them or whatever, like you said, SGC them, and he just runs them on auction. He said, man, it doesn't even matter if they don't have to be established. They sell for $50, $40, $50. You know what I mean? If you 10 them, they sell for 40. And listen, but JD, you talk about Quentin Byfield. I hit one of his, and I didn't even hit the young guns. I hit a black diamond, and I PSA 10 that his young guns are selling for like 50 and 60. I sold a black diamond for 65.
Yeah. Well, black diamond is a nice product too. Plus it's hard to get 10s, with the black diamonds.
Right.
But I forget what the hell I was going to say because I've been just listening to YouTube. God, I don't even know. Just continue on. There's so many good questions in the comments. What's up, Victor?
Yeah, let's get some of them. So I don't know if we're going to be able to answer this. Let's see. Joe says, guys, I want to run my collection through a high-speed scanner and buy them on an online platform, not to sell.
Maybe he means put them
in. Where was I seeing? Oh, the Chronio. There's another platform. I'm actually going to sample it. It's a competitor to Car Dealer Pro. It's kind of made so you can just track you can scan your cards and then you can have your collection. But then the other end of it, you can sell them through eBay through their app too. So that's let me look at Chronio.com, I think it is. Let me pull it up. That's one option with that. But and then they're always on the platform, and you can at any point sell them. So what is it? Chronio?
There's another one too. Oh my God, why can't I think of it? It's actually really good as far as like the card imaging, like with the scanning, because like we're about to release our app with like the picture thing and all that crap where you can take a picture of the card and it brings up the value and all that happy horse shit. But there's a company out there that has spent quite a bit of money on the AI piece of learning the cards and whether it's raw or what. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't think of it. But it's a really good one. Like as far as like recognizing your cards, that's a pretty good one.
There's
I can't. I just need to think.
Hold
of
on, I'm gonna share. I finally found it.
That's one of them.
Here it is.
Center Stage is one, and Ludex is another one.
Yeah, there it is. Ludex.
Yeah, I was actually trying to log in because I have a Ludex profile, but dummy me forgot my password.
So this is like Car Dealer Pro, but to me, some people had dropped it in my comments on some of my videos. To me, it just looks kind of like just one developer built it or something. But it's a desktop app, so that can be sort of sketchy. I don't know, but a lot of people use it, and so there's free and pro. And you scan your cards, and it looks them up and gives you all the data, and then you got them on your in a desktop app on your computer. So that's one you can look at. I'm gonna actually test it out. I'm gonna make a video on this too, so I can see if it's something. So you can sell on Cronio and eBay. They got their own platform to sell on, and then you can sell on eBay too. So and then you can upgrade. But theirs is pretty cheap in comparison to Car Dealer Pro. But I just look at it; it looks kind of cheap, So it doesn't look cheap.
A lot of these things too, like
you don't know a lot about them, and
who knows what's still, people spent a lot of money, right? Like at the National this year, you guys, I know Bobbles went, but one of the big things was a lot of people were talking about the amount of like different companies and tech and things like that has started to roll out this year. People don't understand, like that takes a long time to build out, right? And when like these companies are raising millions of dollars and putting it into that technology, it's some stuff they either run out of funding, some stuff, whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, everybody's at different levels, but
so that's why I went with Car Dealer Pro. It's more expensive than this one. A lot of people had said this one, but Car Dealer Pro got acquired by Colex, which is another, so they're like, they got funding and stuff. So what it is today is not what it's going to be, because they got a big company that bought them, and they're gonna
and the guy that owns Colex is pretty smart. I've talked to him a few times. Guy Ted, he's pretty cool dude.
Right. So that's what put me over the top to spend up to use Car Dealer Pro. But to each their own. That's another option right there. I'll stop sharing that one. Who else we got? It's talking about Sage Hit, great product for a younger kid. Yeah. Back in the day, it was fun because it was just you get 8 to 10 autos, and it was like $100 or $70, something like that. If you hit a quarterback, it was great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the new eBay offers? I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but but it is still like it's optional to the buyer. Like if they got to turn it on, if they turn it on where they send an offer, it's automatically paid for. Sometimes it didn't though if the user hadn't turned it on. So it's still not 100%, but I like it.
So as far as charging, so there's a new feature.
Oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying that it doesn't, because it auto checks out. You can't like combine. Like if one person sends an offer on 5 cards, as soon as they accept the offer, it auto pays.
Yeah.
And then there's more fees.
Okay.
And you can't like kind of make a little bit. But
that's something to pay attention to, right?
Yes.
Especially on the cheaper cards.
On my end of it, I think I have like 2 listings total that I have best offer even enabled. So again, like I don't run hardly any auctions. I basically, and Bravo's had a question up above about let's see, how do you guys compete with other big eBay sellers like Burbank and etc.? Do you sell lower or at the same price? Basically, for anybody out there that's curious how I go about it, I can't speak for everybody. I go on, I usually just use Terapeak. I'll pull up the card. I'll look at whatever the last couple sales are. If they're recent sales, obviously, then that card is liquid in sorts. It's been sold recently. See what the price is and toss it up at that price, or even maybe a little bit less, You're not trying to control the market on lower end cards, right? If one sells today for $250 and the last one was $3, the odds are the next one might go for $350. if somebody really wants the card. You're not going to like fluctuate or piss another seller off. So just go on and just find what's selling. You know, if you got a card, see if it's selling, see what it's selling for, do an average even of the last couple sales, toss it up, and you should be good. Example, last night, and this isn't even a lower end card. And this tells you just some of the stuff. If y'all are interested in selling out there or you got boxes of cards, go through them. I've had packs of team bag lots under this table on my left side here that I haven't went through since 2019. They were parallels, SP variations from tops, that sort of thing. I went in, I knew the variations were top loaded. I was like, those are $2 a piece at least. So I pulled them out. And in there was an Anthony Rizzo from 2019. And I couldn't find a price on it on eBay. You know, I was searching around. Come to find out it was a super short print. Last time one sold was in September for $75. Couldn't find any listed on eBay. I threw it up for $89.99. In 4 hours, it sold. So
that's the best.
And it was just an Anthony Rizzo. It was not even a super short print. But from 2019 tops, Anthony Rizzo, you know, just a photo variation. I'm sitting here thinking it was a $2 to $5 card, and it turns out I got a $90 sale out of it in 4 hours. And you know, go through your boxes, look at your cards. You know, you'll learn like variations are $2 to $5 usually. And they're good to sell. So, but yeah.
That's why I love eBay's, because you know, you go to shows and people are nickel and dime and $1 and $2 boxes, and you know, I mean, I like shows, but like I said, I'm only going to use shows going forward to go buy inventory to sell on eBay for the most part, and to make connections, because it just I mean, and that's sort of the revelation I came to after I did lots of shows last year. I don't know, I probably set up at least
you were a madman, dude.
Yeah, so 24 shows probably I did last year, maybe something like that. But that's the issue I run into. People will be comping your dollar boxes, and I'm like, come on, man. If you buy this thing, if you buy this on, and a lot of the comps you're looking at, the only reason someone paid 99 cents, and that's all they would pay, is because shipping was $4.25, so they paid $5.25 for that card. It's in a dollar. It's in a dollar box.
Yeah.
So,
I do similar. Like, I try to have a floor of at least $1. Like, I think eBay only lets you have a minimum buy it now of like 99 cents. So if the car, like, again, I'm selling Bowman Chrome refractors and crap like that, and whatever else. I just keep going through the box. I got wrestling cards. I bought when I was down in Florida, basketball, hockey, football. I got a little bit of everything. I don't care. I just list them. I look, kind of get an idea of what it's done. Like Bobbles said, like, you know, I don't hold the line hard on $1.25. If I put it up, it's $1. If it, you know, the last sale was August, I'm like, all right, maybe let me just throw this out there for $1, or, you know, try to get the same price and see what happens. I don't know, but I don't try to put it at like $2.75 or anything like that, you know.
Well, I just battled with a guy on Adrian Peterson rookie. Like, you know, the recent comps are $5 on it, and I had it at $7.99. He offered $3. I came back at $5, and he kept coming. He'd come up a quarter each time. After I finally said, I finally sold it to him for $3.75. I said, you know what, whatever, man. Just
that's exhausting. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that right there is why I don't accept offers. Like, I don't put best offer on that kind of stuff. And also, I don't send offers as a seller. I won't send offers out, because if the card is $2 plus $1 shipping,
right,
it's $3. Like, what do you want me to do? Take 12 cents off or something? I mean, you know, if it's a higher end card, like 100, or, you know, even a $50, $60, $70 card, and there's some watchers on it, I might check and see, okay, what's this doing? It's been sitting here a while, and then throw out a seller offer. But on my lower end stuff, it's just not even worth my time. I got too much other things going on. I don't need offers on $2 cards.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna be on the minority and disagree on that one. Like, that's how I get a lot. I probably get 35% of my sales are through offers, through and through the haggling of cards but to each its own. And whatever works best for you. But I think I move more inventory through offers than anything else.
I do. So if I have, like, every once in a while I'll go on my phone and I'm like, oh, I got 14 watchers. I'll look to see what's being watched. Like, I got a couple I got a ton of Alec Manoah first Bowman papers. Like, I'm talking like 30 of them. I have them listed at $1.75, right? That seems to be kind of what they're going for. So I'll throw out an offer for $1.50, and I'll do it so that you can't counter it. Because at that point, like, what are we doing here? We're splitting nickels.
You know
what I mean?
My bottom.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't mind, but it's like, I'm not doing this, like, whatever, getting back and forth over a whatever. I don't know. I think that too time consuming,
Right. But if you use the thing about, like, I wish the app would come into have some of the features that the web has, because the web has a lot, because I'm full time with this, and I'm usually sitting here listing like half the day, that so I'm able to, like, and you're able to, let's say I got 10 people that come in throughout the day that are that began watching stuff. You can just select all 10, and then I can send a % offer out on all of them, 10% off.
Oh, really?
Right? And then so on the web there's a lot more features.
Oh, on the web. Sorry. Yeah. Yep.
On the web, yeah. So on the app you can't. On the app you got to go one by one to send offers. But on this, on the web, you can you can do bulk offers.
There's actually quite if you get into, like, the seller dashboard and start playing around with it. Like, I've got all templates set up now for, like, specific brands, whether it's a first Bowman, whether it's a refractor, whatever hockey card, you know what I mean? Like, I know what I have a lot of. So I've just set up templates that I've saved that I can now just go quickly back in, and it's like, change the player,
right?
Change the card number, bing, bang, boom, list it.
So how many, JD, what are you up to as far as your listings? Bobbles said he's up to about 450, 500. How about
I have 221 items listed right now.
And
that's doing, like, it depends, man. So I got 4 kids and we're driving around to all kinds of sports.
Right.
So I try to get 10 up, like, a day. I've been basically trying to replace what I'm selling every day, which is, like, right around 10-ish.
Nice.
It's been pretty surprising. And it's stuff that I don't want. So get it out.
How many kids you got?
4.
4. What 4. Ages?
Oh God, 12, 10, and 6.
Okay. Wow.
That's why my head's huge, because I'm so fat from not being able to be active. So other than driving my car, put miles on my car. Should be my legs.
Chauffeur, huh?
Yeah. I'm on Daddy Uber.
That's crazy. Neo's in the house. What's up, Neo? He says, do you use promoted listings? We didn't talk about this we were talking about it offline. I don't think these gents do. I said I do once I list, and then something sits in the stale after a couple days, honestly. Then I'll
you do it that quick, huh?
But I don't. I will max out at 3%. It always tries to suggest you do it at like 6 or 7%. I will never
9.6 or what. I'm like, slow your roll, eBay.
Yeah, exactly. That way, I do it at 3% max. That way, I'm at 15% max on the total of percent. So he said he uses 2%.
The biggest thing, right? Because I had this, and we were talking about this offline. I had this theory that I had like maybe 10 or 11 cards listed. They weren't really moving. And I was like, I don't understand why. They were price competitive, all this other crap. So then I started promoting them, and like immediately one sold, and then another one sold. And I was like, oh, here we go. This is the scam. They want more money out of you. So then Bobbles messaged me. He's like, you idiot. He's like, just list consistently. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. I'll try it. So I start listing consistently, and I'm like, it was like a revelation. I was like, wow, you're a genius. Because I think that's the key, man, is if you can throw up a couple a day.
I suck at the YouTube algorithm, but I picked up on the eBay algorithm, because if I was sitting here listing cards every day, and it makes sense, fresh inventory. And like you mentioned earlier with those back pages saying, oh, well, I want this. Let me see what the other, what else the
Right.
person has. It just makes sense. Like if you're putting fresh inventory there, you're drawing more attention and
Yeah.
views. I've also noticed, like I told you, a lot of people get flustered because they're like, my items aren't getting views. I don't remember where it was in the reports, but there's something that shows you where eBay actually puts your stuff outside of eBay. And so
Yep.
sometimes if you ever notice, you'll have watchers, but your listing will say 0 views. And I figured out it's that stuff they're putting outside of eBay. And also, let's face it, like people got, huge monitors and, 14-inch cell phones. They don't necessarily have to open the item anymore. And I don't think it calculates a view
Right.
unless the actual item is clicked on and opened. So they can just sit there and browse. And how many times do we do that? Like we're sitting there looking at something, we're just browsing.
One
You
of my
know,
own cards came up on one of those ads the other day when I was searching for a vacation to Florida, and on the sidebar was like my card. I was like, "What the hell?" I
Yeah,
was
on
like,
Google. Yeah,
because
Google.
I have two monitors, so I was like, what, "Is this thing not all the way up on the second screen?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Hopefully somebody buys it, help pay for my vacation." Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of great stuff in here. Like I like the stuff where you guys, I never even thought about like changing the promoted thing down to like that. Someone just put Bravo's journey here. I send offers Monday mornings, Friday mornings, payday for most, and Sunday nights. Like that makes
That's
sense
smart.
too. You know what I mean? The other thing too, I mean, because when you send an offer, it's good for 48 hours unless the potential buyer rejects it right away. So you could technically do that on a Wednesday, anticipating that Friday. You know what I mean? Maybe try to get somebody to buy it, knowing, hey, I'm getting paid in 2 days. I can just wait and pay up on Friday. So there's a lot of this. I haven't said anything because I keep reading all this stuff because it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, and I utilize the marketing tab too. And so right now I'm running a 10% off on everything in the store. But when I first kicked off, I was doing 15%, I sell a lot of stuff because I will typically send out an offer at 10%. So I was like, I'll just go ahead and set everything in the store at 10% off, and people check out all the time stuff at 10% off. But there's also, you can send out coupons to new followers of your store. And so I just sent a 15% inflation 15 promotion. So, I'm trying all kind of stuff. I just want to see what works and what doesn't, and see how it all plays out.
So Ziggy's got another good question down here. Do you include shipping? What shipping do you use? So I'll just start because Bobbles, I think I want to ask Bobbles about this. I anything that is standard envelope, I just do the eBay calculated shipping, which usually what I've been seeing is $1.05. I don't charge any more or any less, you know what I mean? So whatever it is, that's what it is. And I send it off. I get my envelopes pretty cheap thanks to Jay Wilson. I know he's in the chat somewhere. And my ink is what it is because I have to always have ink because the kids are printing crap, so I don't really care. But yeah, that's what I do. Bobbles, talk about yours because I was going to ask you this question. I was like, oh, let me save that for.
So on plain white envelope, as long as it's 1 ounce or less, and usually you can actually ship 2 cards and it'll stay under 1 ounce. It's like 0.8 is normally what it weighs out at. So 1 ounce is 57 cents, 2 ounces is 81 cents. So what I normally do is I do on all my PWE stuff, I just charge a flat rate of $1. I don't advertise combined shipping, but I do have, I've had several buyers that come in. In fact, while I was waiting for us to do this, a guy came in and bought 7 cards. So what I do in that situation, if people ask me, I'll be like, first card's $1, after that 50 cents. Okay, because at that point, then it goes to a bubble mailer, and normally it comes right around, depending on how many they buy, but it'll come right around to what the bubble mailer first class costs. What the $1 allows me to do is your label is 57 cents. I've calculated up my supply cost. I use 125-pound cardstock cut in half. You can see here 2 sheets makes, one sheet makes 2. And then I will lay a top loader in here like so. Hard to see. Fold it, and like put 3 little pieces of Scotch tape on it. Put that in my plain white envelope. I use number 6 cheap Walmart pen
That's what I used
gear
to.
envelopes. And then I have a roller printer. My labels, my cardstock, and my envelope cost me 11 cents. So at that point, I'm into it for 68 cents. And that extra 32 cents helps cover some of the, the fees or whatever. And also, to touch on this real quick, um, when you go into your seller dashboard and you're looking at all your performance levels and all that, and eBay says how much your selling costs are, a lot of people misunderstand when it says like 20% or whatever. They think your eBay fees are 20%. What you have
Right.
to remember is that total is your total sale number. That includes shipping and the
Tax.
taxes that
Yep.
eBay are collecting.
The state
So
taxes, yeah.
you're right. So when they're putting that stuff up there, that's all of that compounded. And then they're deducting out the taxes and putting it as a fee. And they're also taking, the little bit off of the shipping end. Your shipping, you're charging for it and you're paying for a shipping label. Your actual eBay fee should only be calculated off what the price of the card is. So really, I look and when I add mine up, it's roughly around 13%.
Yep.
But
So
a
mine
lot of
is.
people look in their performance stuff and they're seeing that 20% in there and they're thinking that's what they're getting charged.
Yeah.
And you're really not. I only look at what the cost of my card is. And then what did I net after that? So
Yeah, I don't as far as shipping goes, like I said, Jay Wilson there in the chat, he turned me on to.
and I see he messaged me yesterday about it. That's another thing I want to let. So he bought a PWE. There was no update on the shipping. That does happen. Okay.
Yeah.
It normally happens if I have a really big batch that I send out at once. I guess my local spot that it does is in Maryfield, Virginia. And I notice sometimes if I send a large batch, it just goes through and it gets skipped on the scan. But I can assure you, like most cases, just like Jay Wilson, he'll reach out. I'll tell him, hey, man, I shipped all of this stuff. I got other people already left me feedback or whatever. I promise you it'll be there. They get their card. Most people are pretty good, though. They won't even check the tracking and see that it didn't update, and they'll leave feedback in most cases.
You know what, something to that point. I've had it happened a couple times here over Christmas and you had Christmas and then you had New Year's. So a couple, like when I was selling, 20, 30 cards a day when it was really hot. And then so 2 or 3 people messaged me and said, they opened up cases about item not received, and so I have already started writing notes in Notepad, saving them on the desktop and on my phone of like something auto response to these, and basically it's eBay standard envelope doesn't tracking is minimal, and we really, like, I can only open up a case after 30 days. So like
Right.
I can file a claim after 30 days. So it could take up to 30 days for you to get it with a PWE.
Yeah.
But in the day,
eBay does, though, they are good about it. If somebody does put a claim in, they actually state, if you read in like the description of the PWE stuff, they state in there, if you would please kindly go ahead and refund, and then they'll take care of it in the back end. To
yeah,
touch on this while we're talking about shipping, I don't know if y'all caught the video I did today.
No, I was going to
wasn't
ask you about that too.
not yet.
I started to watch it and then this came on.
So I got a message today from eBay. They're opening a new campaign for international shipping. Instead of the eBay global shipping program, it's called eBay international shipping. It looks to be really
Creative.
good, and going to open up opportunities for sellers and buyers as well. It says it's going to be cheaper shipping costs for international buyers. And also, it's going to make things easier on international sellers. We aren't going to have international selling fees. And also, the way I understand it, if you send the item to the eBay hub, then once they receive it, confirm all of that stuff, and they forward it on to the buyer. From that point, you're in the clear. It's final sale. eBay handles any returns, anything like that. So that's going to open up a lot of opportunities now, because it's going to instill seller confidence that we can sell to, international countries. And
Yeah.
all we got to do is make sure that package gets to the eBay hub,
Yep.
so that's going to be
Yeah.
really good. And then also on the other end of it, being that we like hockey, how many times do you get a Canadian saying, "Hey, can you do better on this card? The shipping's too much," because
Yeah.
that global shipping was pretty damn expensive for them. So hopefully that's some relief there as well.
Let me follow back up on this because you glossed over Bobbles, but he says he's still talking about the eBay standard envelope. No, the thing was, like Bobbles said, say after 15 days they open up a case, you go ahead and refund them the money, but after 30 days you file a claim and then you get reimbursed through PayPal. So you wouldn't lose the $5 or $10. You would still get, because it's insured up to $20, and you only ship cards under 20 and below with the PWE, playing the eBay standard envelope program. And so no, you wouldn't lose the 5 or 10. You just got to go back and file a claim after 30 days. You get your 5 or 10 back. So you really, it sucks as far as the tracking information goes, but you can't beat it, because with first class you actually don't have insurance with the first
Well,
class
and you
shipping.
can't sell those $2 cards, and it's difficult selling a $2 card and charging somebody $4.50 to ship it.
That's a turnoff to me too as a buyer. Like when I'm looking for cards, if I see like a $2, $3, $4, $5 card and the shipping's $5, I'm like, all right, I move on. Unless it's something like I really need or want, I'll buy it. But that, to me, that is like you're just trying to make an extra $4 off the card.
Right.
Somebody asked how much. Hang on one sec though, J-Max. Someone asked how much those envelopes were. So I buy them off Amazon, courtesy of Jay Wilson. They're like $28 for 100, so it comes out to like 28 cents or something like that. I don't know. They're not expensive at all.
These are like $2 for 100.
Yeah.
Well, now JD, I want to tell you that. So when I lived in Charlotte, I only used those for plain white envelopes, right? And then when I got here to Arkansas, I was using those, and they would hit Little Rock, and one out of four came back. So if you're in an area where regional USPS doesn't like those envelopes, you're going to come. A quarter of them are going to come back, and then you're going to have all these conversations with your customers.
Yeah, so far it's been all right. I mean, I'm checking the feedback. I'm actually, like, I saw the feedback thing too. I have something on that I can share too. The cards are getting there, so
I got you. But you might be in an area where it's good.
I hear. Yeah, I'm in the Northeast, so we're modern up here, baby. You know what I mean?
Well, I was in Charlotte. I was Charlotte in work too. But what I'm saying is, I had went out and I bought a 500 case of those, and I got them. But guess what? I can't use them. So
because send them to me. I'll use them. I'll buy them off you.
Yeah, I got them somewhere. I've been. I'm actually going to remodel this and put up a couple. I need to put more shelves up so I can have inventory more organized, because I don't even know what half of it is right now. Not
Someone
inventory,
else asked,
supplies.
Where was it? Someone else asked a really good question. As far as the feedback goes, right? So my advice to this would be, if you don't have a lot of feedback on eBay, I don't consider myself to have a lot. I have, I think, like 1,300. Some people have thousands upon thousands of feedback, right? When I got back on eBay in 2020, I literally would like message people, just like a nice message, like, "Hey, I noticed your card was delivered. Could you, if everything's okay, could you please do me a favor and leave feedback?" Like, I know it sounds like a pain in the ass, but if you're trying to build up that side of your business, the feedback thing does matter. It does add in a little bit of confidence to people. It's I don't think it's necessarily a game breaker, but or a deal breaker, I should say, but it does help, right? I mean, it just shows you're doing your thing, right?
Right. Yeah, no, that's
another
good. That's
thing,
good.
and I haven't done this in a long time, but it has saved my ass in the past. I used to put a small little business card with just the social medias and stuff on it. And what that also did, if a package ever wound up lost or delivered to the wrong place, I have had this happen. The people have reached out to me believe it or not, there's good people in this world, reached out to me and be like, hey, I got this package. I didn't buy this, but this card was in there. How do you want me to handle it? And the people have sent it back, but just also, a simple business card right on the back, thanks for your purchase. Please leave feedback, whatever. And then it also, if you got, Instagram and all that, it could lead them to those places as well. So I probably should get better at doing that again. I just haven't done it in a while. So.
Yeah, I ran out of cards. I used to do that, and I ran out, and I haven't ordered anymore.
Over Christmas when some bigger cards were selling, I was writing handwritten notes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So all of it works.
Yeah. Now, do you guys are
JD,
you selling
real
anywhere?
Quick.
What?
Hold on, real quick. I was going to show you. There's a couple examples of other people. So those you might have trouble with them. With those thicker.
We'll see if they turn into trouble. I'll go right back to I got the backups.
Yeah, I just throwing it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's good to know. Any information is good information, my friend.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Are you selling anywhere else? Are you just straight eBay? Are you doing any Facebook stuff? Anything?
Who's this directed to? Me or Bob? Me?
I don't know.
I'll sell occasionally. If I see somebody on Facebook asking for specific cards or something like that, sometimes I'll throw things up. Instagram, sometimes stuff like just when I'm showing cards or something like that. Like when I do graded card reveals, sometimes people ask. But I'm not like purposefully going out and trying to sell on those platforms. It's kind of organic on those for me.
Yeah. Ironically, I've had my largest single card purchase or sale, I should say, on Instagram. It was so random.
What was it? Was that the?
It was a Michael Jordan star card. Yeah, I paid like $600 for it and sold it for $2,500. I was like, yeah, okay. And it was just like some dude reached out to me. He's like, hey, I saw this picture. Is it for sale? I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Mine was on Instagram as well, and I never even held the card. So I never even seen it in person.
It looked nice.
I wasn't going to say no.
Yeah.
Steve's in the building. What up, Steve? Flipping Steve.
What's up, Steve?
He's a good dude there.
Let's see. Now, Matt, I was trying to read this. Matt was saying, for those who charge shipping on eBay, standard envelope insurance does not reimburse the shipping part. I always use free shipping on eBay standard envelope, so I get reimbursed my full amount. That's me too. I use I'm doing free shipping as well. So
free. There's a little trick supposedly too. If you list your cards free shipping, supposedly that gives you like a priority up on like if it's a prism, right? When there's a lot of them, supposedly that gives you your listing a bump if you use free shipping. Sometimes I saw that somewhere. Is Neo still here? I feel like he talked about that once.
Some people sort by free shipping, and like you can when you do and I kind of use it, when I do best when I sort by best price including shipping. A lot of times I can beat people's price with free shipping, and if it's say it's $4 card, and they're charging 99 cents but $4.95 shipping, right? Then I can sell it for $4 and I'm $1 cheaper than them. And I might net $3 on a $4 card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I moved over. Who was it? I don't know. A guy, the 1 Million Cubs project. He's got a freaking basement full of cards, and so I picked up on that using. I said, you know what? Let me try it. As soon as I switched over to free shipping, I started selling lots and lots and lots.
Yeah. Someone asked earlier too, like,
go ahead.
Sorry. So someone asked very, very early on about like competing with like the Burbanks of the world and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking like you guys are doing this for like your living, right? So I'm not, and I don't want to compete with Burbank. Although it would be pretty cool to just be in the sports card business full time, right? I'm not looking. So when I like to compete with them, I don't really, I don't know. They're not on my radar unless I'm looking for a card and I'm like, oh, I'll buy this card. It's just, I'm not buying it because it's at Burbank. I'm buying it because it's, $4 instead of $5, right?
Right.
I generally just try to list in an area of where that card is kind of selling at and move on with my day. My thing is I'm just trying to compete with the clutter. I want to get rid. I have like multiple. I'm looking at them like multiple 5,000 count boxes that just need to be like
listed,
sold off. It's just stuff that people like. You know, I mean, people. There's a collector. There's somebody out there for every card, right? I mean, there really is. It's just
hey JD, talk to me. Talk to me if you want to move some bulk.
Yeah,
I know you got some good stuff. I saw your KG pickup the other day. That's pretty cool. Those inserts,
dude. That was the sickest random purchase of all time. Facebook, the 90s group on Facebook, which is by far my favorite group. Guy listed some KGs and I messaged him. So we start talking and he gave me a really good price. And then I paid him. He messages me right back. He's like, dude, I live right down the street. I was like, get out.
That's really cool.
So now I've got a stash of KG right down the street that I like stuff that I need. So it's basically on layaway, which is pretty cool. So
there you go. So what is your channel, JD, or your
on eBay?
Your eBay?
It's JD's Sports Cards, just like eBay, just like YouTube.
Mine as well, but it's got an S. Too. So,
and if anybody has subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you go to like the about, my link to my eBay is right there. Don't click on my Slabs. My Slabs page is not updated. So, but my eBay store is.
There you go. Let's see. Matt's talking about those envelopes. Position your label on your envelopes within a quarter inch of the upper right corner.
A real quick trick on that. If you buy these here, if you're using actual plain white envelopes, these number 6 envelopes, okay? You see here, number 6, whatever, right there, number 6 envelope. If you have a thermal printer, which if you don't, I highly suggest it. You don't have to get a brand name, whatever, but doing group subs, I was a dummy for never owning one sooner. But get a thermal printer, 4x6 label, and when you print it, minimize it down to 85%. It's going to give you a little border around your label. What I do is I put it on the back where you seal the envelope.
Yeah.
And it leaves just enough to fold over the top. And then all your little barcodes and everything are right in the corner in that area, right where that scanner loves them. So don't leave it at 100%.
J-Mac, you're on mute.
Yeah, he's on mute.
Sorry, I was saying I knew you were going to say that, but I had when you were talking about them earlier, I was going to say that tip too. So this is a thermal label that's a sticker, and you put it over that and fold it under, and then
I fold it over the top. But
I do it so either way will work. Yeah, as long as you cover the seal. So and I do it on even on bubble mailers too.
On the back
side. That way it's it makes it tamper proof, right? So for someone to go into that envelope now at this point, they actually really have to rip it. You know, it takes away the tampering of a envelope as well. So good point. Good tip, Bobbles. That's real good.
Yeah, number 6 envelopes and 85% when you print the label. And
I was gonna say I do 95%. I do 95, but
it works really good.
That works. Yeah.
I don't have a thermal printer. I print right from my printer, but I do buy like the pre-label
thermal
thing.
printer. Yeah. They're cheap now. They're down. It's
they're like Staples. They're not expensive at all.
Dude, it pays for itself so quickly.
Well, because there's no more ink. No more ink. You don't ever have to worry about ink again.
Yeah.
You know how many orders we ship out for grading. And I was sitting here printing, and like every order, I was having to like go buy more ink cartridges.
Yeah.
And the missus kept saying, I don't know why you don't buy a label. When I started doing plain white envelope, it was like, all right, this sucks taping these labels. And I went on shopping, and I was like, oh my God, these aren't even that expensive.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
they
pay for themselves.
Like the bulk shipping. You know, you saw that yesterday. I printed 30 labels in 20 seconds.
All right.
And then it's just simple peel and stick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we're over the hour. Let's see. Was there anything else we missed in chat? Like I said, appreciate y'all in chat. I was unable to keep up with y'all.
Yeah, this was fun.
Great insights, great questions, great everything. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do this maybe once a month or something like that. I know JD's on like live streams all over the place, but
I just do my podcast once a week, and then I try to pump out 2 videos if I can. If I can. That's it for me, man.
There you go. Well, listen, go check out Bobbles and JD. Their links are in the video description below. And then follow our stores on eBay too, and maybe get some ideas or point something out. If you see something and you're like, well, I kind of appreciate it when someone messages me and tells me I have a listing that's wrong or something like that. I don't get mad. I don't get upset at it. I'm like, okay, thanks for the advice. Yep. So check out all of our socials and eBay and YouTube, and subscribe to these guys for sure. Any last words, guys?
No, thanks for having me on. I maybe once I get a little bit more into it, and as the year flows along, I might have to ramp up and test out that the listing program and the scanner. I've been intrigued by it. But I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. So I might bite the bullet and get one. So
yeah, thanks to everybody in the chat. That was this was one of the better chats in a long time. So thank you to all you guys. I actually learned quite a bit just from paying it. I paid attention to the chat.
There you go. They're probably more. They're more exciting than me and Bobbles anyway.
Good stuff. Nah. It's all good. I think like you were saying, just to close out, anytime we can all help each other learn and get a little bit better or more efficient at what we're doing, right? And realize like, hey, man, I'm doing the same thing you're doing, right? Shoot a message, hey, I love talking to people, so whatever.
Well, this kind of, I saw this and I meant to throw it up, and this kind of sums it up. He says this is a great direction for YouTube discussions because, yeah, you're right. I mean, everybody's over, a lot of channels are out here trying to find negativity, find out, and all the other stuff, but I mean, end of the day, most people that are collectors are also trying to sell some of their collection, right? So
yeah, you gotta. Everybody, it's part of the fun too, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but like every time the phone dings, I figured out why my phone wasn't doing the eBay cha-ching thing. So I put that back on now, and I'm like, man, my wife's like, what the hell? And I'm like, selling cards, baby.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and jump off. Thanks everybody for joining us in the chat. All right. Deuces.